All right, I'm counting on you guys. I need your help here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Naked Truth. Trisha Hershberger here. Before we talk about today's very exciting topic, I want to give a big shout out to our Naked Army vloggers from last week who all submitted Naked Truths of their own. That's Leonardo, Colin, Lawrence, Prescott and Kristen, James, Nathan, Jenny, and Kavaja. If you want to check out their vlogs, they are linked in the description below. All right, on to this week's topic. Now, this is a topic that people have been asking me about ever since I disclosed that I was pregnant. So here's just a few examples of those people. Catnip Ninja said, baby names! I recommend the next Naked Truth topic be on names. I would love to hear baby names, but also given birth versus chosen names. Interesting. Super Simon said, you mentioned that you're calling your guy BB made me think another Naked Truth topic could be baby names or what you're planning on naming your boy. Maybe it's too early for that though. Elizabeth said, I really want to know your baby name ideas or really anything baby related. I don't want to intrude, especially since you kept BB a secret, but I know you love babies and I could hear you talk about them for hours. So you guys get the idea. In addition to all of you guys who have commented or tweeted me or Facebooked me and said, hey, I want to know what you're calling BB, my relatives, my friends here in LA are all like, so what name have you decided on? Always. Every day. And I think a lot of people think that Nate and I are lying when we're like, we just don't know yet. I think people think that we're keeping it secret, but that's actually not the case. And so I'm doing this Naked Truth this week because I'm hoping you guys can think of something that we can't. So we do have a short list right now of names that we like, and it's like 2 or 3 that we're hoping when we see his little adorable face when he gets here that we're like, oh, you're definitely a this. But maybe that won't happen, which is terrifying. Or maybe there are better names than the ones that are on our list. The ones that are on our list right now are not like, these are names that we love. This is what we always envisioned calling our firstborn son. It's nothing like that. It's like, these are the names that we can't find anything wrong with, so let's put them on the list, which is a horrible way to do it. And I think because Nate and I are such planners and we're so picky about things, it's very easy for us to find stuff wrong with names. So names are getting eliminated much quicker than they're getting added to the list. So some of the things that we're looking for, I think, are things a lot of parents are looking for. We don't want crappy initials. I have a cousin whose last name begins with F, and they were thinking about naming their baby William Thomas, which William Thomas sounds like an awesome name until you realize the initials would be WTF. No, don't do that to your baby. Or like my mom suggested the name Connor, and I was like, I love the name Connor, but would his nickname be Con? That seems weird. And I know there's a lot of people that are like, don't worry about the nickname because you just insist on calling them by their full name all the time. Then people will call them by their full name all the time. And also what Catnip Ninja brought up about given and birth names versus chosen names. If they don't like their nickname, they can choose to go by a different nickname later on. I mean, I knew kids who, like, for example, a kid who's named Kyle, but that decides in first grade he wants to go by Bubba. And he's Bubba for his friends all through school. You know, like, I know that kids can do that, but still, if I'm looking for, like, the ideal name, I want something that there's a lot of variety in what they could be called. So, for example, the name Alexander. You could be Al. You could be Alex. You could be Alec. You could be Xander. There's a lot of different ways you could go with that, and I feel like that's cool because that gives him options later on. Or having a really cool middle name gives options later on if they want to go by their middle name, and that's really cool. We want a name that is not too common. So I've been staying away from like the top 5, top 10 for 2016. I think the top 5 right now or top 4 were Noah, Liam, Mason, and Elijah, and I think that's the top 4 in the US right now for baby boy names. So we're trying to stay away from those because we don't want him to be in school with like 4 other kids with the same name. But we don't want it to be too weird either, because obviously for me, like, I'm thinking inspiration from fictional characters that I love. Who are fictional characters that I love? Bilbo, I'm not going to name my child Bilbo. Or Atreyu. I'm not going to name my child Atreyu. I feel like they would grow up to hate me forever. But those are names that, to me, carry with them lots of lovely meaning and lovely things. So I'm struggling to kind of find a name that has some kind of history or meaning to me in a fictional character or in a fictional universe that I do love, but that also is not too strange. So some of my friends have chosen really cool ones. One of my friends named his son Sam, which, there's lots of great Sams. There's Samwise Gamgee, there's Samwell Tarly. There's lots of great Sams to think of, but they also gave him the middle name Solo, so his name's Sam Solo. Win to that friend. You know who you are. I have another friend who some of you may know if you watch Geek and Sundry, who named their son Phoenix. That's awesome. But any one of our friends who've already taken cool names, we don't want to take their cool name idea because their kids and our kids will quite possibly be friends going up, and we don't want them to have the same name. Also, we're trying to be original. So some names like, I don't know, Albus Dumbledore. Albus is too weird, but maybe not for a middle name. Or Roland from the Dark Tower series. Maybe that could be a cool middle name. I don't know. These are all the things that are swirling around in my head. And if you guys can think of cool names that are still sound like a normal name that a kid wouldn't necessarily get made fun of. Like, for example, for girls, I love Zelda. Obviously, you know where its roots come from in the fictional universe that I love, but it's also a really pretty girl name at the same time. It's not too common, but I'm having a boy, not a girl. So I have to find a cool boy name. So yeah, if you guys can think of any, please put them in the comments section below. And I'm legit saying this right now, that one of you may end up choosing my baby's name or helping us to choose our baby's name, because we're really just at a loss right now. And a lot of the names that, like I said, I'm looking up on apps or websites just aren't cutting it. And some of you may suggest names that are already on our short list, and that's okay. That, gives us confidence that maybe we're doing the right thing. So my question for this week is really a cry for help. Help us to pick a name. Think unique, but not too odd, with some kind of cool fictional inspiration that means something to you. That's along the lines that we're thinking. So I really hope that you guys think of stuff that we haven't thought of yet, especially those of you who are from other parts of the world, because you're probably hearing different names than we get to hear on a daily basis, so you might have extra insight in that area. And for those of you who are making your own Naked Truth vlogs this week, tell me what names you like and why. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching this week's Naked Truth, and continue to suggest further topics that you want to see Naked Truth vlogs on. As I get closer and closer to my due date, I do not know how often these will be, mostly because I get really tired. It's crazy. But I'm going to keep up with them as much as I can, because talking to you guys is my favorite thing that I do every week. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.